It's going to be a jump. Now here it looked like a jump. There, this looks like a foul to me.
Yeah.
Indiana, and you can see Caitlin saying you were right in front of her.
Caitlin Clark has been through some tough moments this season, but nothing prepared fans for this. She didn't just argue a call, she completely lost it on the referees in a way we've never seen before. And the reason why? A play so bad, so obviously wrong, that it exposed one of the WNBA's biggest problems right now, officiating that feels completely out of control.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that your job is easy, but when it is a simple call right in front of your face multiple times, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What call are you, like, bugged out?
All of them.
Most? Everything?
Like, it's just like they're just so inconsistent. Like, that's my thing. Like, if you're on the other team and you're going to be fouling the shit out of me,
yeah,
cool. But let me do it to you.
Let you, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want
Like,
consistency then.
yeah, like just give. And I think that's players across the league and like new fans across the country. Like, everyone's like, what is going on with the refs? And I'm like, I don't know.
This wasn't just one missed whistle, man. It was a moment that left fans saying, what is happening to this league? And honestly, they might be right, and because what happened next made this story explode.
Now, am I ever advocating for players to throw other players on the ground? No, like we've seen so much of it throughout the WNBA. He watches this happen right in front of him. There's so much contact on the play and he does nothing. He doesn't blow his whistle. He doesn't stop the play. He doesn't call a foul here.
It all started with one of the dirtiest plays we've seen all season. Sophie Cunningham had the ball secured after grabbing a defensive rebound, and then out of nowhere, a Seattle Storm player straight up threw her to the ground like it was a football tackle. No attempt for the ball, no hustle play, just a full body slam. And here's the worst part, the referee was standing right there watching it happen and did nothing. No whistle, no foul, not even a warning. It was one of those moments where every fan watching froze and thought, wait, did I just see that right?
I don't even know what the players can do because the players aren't being protected. And I know so many of the times, like, we're talking about this when it comes to the Indiana Fever, but this does happen across the league. There are many plays that we could pull up. Do you guys have any suggestions on what can actually be done? The coaches get fined when they call them out to the media. Like, this is a top-down issue. This is a commissioner's.
Honestly, I felt that same frustration Caitlin did. If you've been watching WNBA games this season, you know calls like that, or the lack of them, have been way too common. It felt personal. And judging by social media that night, I wasn't the only one yelling at the screen.
The officiating in the WNBA, I kind of already went off on it, but it's just atrocious. Really, really bad. Like, there have got to be rules to present overt physicality from dominating the game. And that's what we've got. We've got it in the NBA. We've got it in the WNBA. Nobody wants to call a bunch of fouls, but these officials don't know what a foul is and a foul isn't. They can't even tell when a ball goes out of bounds. Like, you've got 2 million plus people watching some of these games. You have got to have a correctly officiated product, or at least confidently officiated product and competently officiated product.
Caitlin Clark isn't the type to lose her cool. If you've watched her through college and now in the pros, you know she's usually calm, calculated, focused on the next play. But this time, she absolutely lost it. She's been sidelined for 7 straight games with that stubborn groin injury, forced to watch from the bench as her teammates battle night after night. That alone has to be frustrating enough for a competitor like Caitlin, but seeing Sophie Cunningham, her teammate, her friend, and one of the few players keeping the team alive offensively, get wrecked with no call, that was the breaking point.
This year, it's not just Caitlin Clark. If you wear that Indiana Fever jersey, consider it done. The refs are not going to be fair, and they are going to cheat and do whatever it takes to do what the higher-ups say.
From the sideline, Caitlin shot up from her seat and let the officials have it. And this wasn't a quiet complaint. No, this was a full-on eruption. "You were right in front of her. Why did you change your mind?" she shouted, her voice echoing through the arena. This wasn't just anger, it was pure disbelief, the kind of reaction you only see when the game itself feels unfair. And if you've ever played sports, you know that feeling, when it doesn't even feel like basketball anymore, just chaos. Fans inside the arena were stunned. One fan's clip of Caitlin yelling at the refs instantly went viral, racking up thousands of shares within hours. People weren't just talking about the missed call anymore, they were talking about how even Caitlin Clark, one of the calmest players in the game, snapped on national TV. Honestly, I felt it. I was sitting there watching like, Yeah, Caitlin, we all saw that. We all felt that. And you could tell by her body language, hands out, shaking her head, yelling at the ref to do your job. This wasn't about one play. This was about all season long of bad calls, rough plays, and players not being protected. What makes this moment even more powerful is that Caitlin wasn't even playing. She was just standing up for her teammate. That's leadership, and that's why fans love her. Even hurt, she's protecting her team.
We have updates, and our recovery's going well. You know, it's just, I think for us, staying the course and making sure that we're really diligent about each step that we take, and that we don't have setbacks, and that we're patient with it. I know she wants to be out here on the floor, and we want her out here on the floor, but making sure that she's ready is the most important thing. You know, I still don't know how far we are. We're going to take it one step at a time, one day at a time.
But here's the thing. Caitlin's outburst was just the spark, because what it exposed is a problem way bigger than one bad call. Here's the truth. This wasn't just one bad call. The officiating across the WNBA has been a full-blown disaster all season long. Players are getting hacked, shoved, even thrown to the ground, and refs are either swallowing their whistles or making calls so inconsistent it feels like they're flipping a coin. It's gotten so bad that respected coaches like Becky Hammon have lost their patience on live TV, openly blasting officials for not protecting players or the game itself. Even veteran stars like Kelsey Plum are fed up, showing up to press conferences covered in scratches and asking reporters, "What else do I have to do to get a foul called?" And it's not just words. Sophie Cunningham literally got fined $500 for posting a TikTok calling refs stupid and useless. Yet the league does nothing about dangerous physical plays that risk serious injuries. The WNBA's own commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, recently tried to brush off the criticism by saying, "Winning teams don't complain about officiating, losing teams do." That's one of the most tone-deaf responses you could possibly give when the league's biggest star, Caitlin Clark, is getting hammered every single game with no protection. And fans, they're furious. Social media has been flooded with clips of bad calls, no calls, and game-changing mistakes. Whole highlight reels are popping up online of officiating fails, and none of it is a good look for a league that's finally growing in popularity. This isn't just about one moment anymore. It's about an officiating crisis that threatens to overshadow everything good happening in women's basketball right now. And while all of this chaos was going down, one player decided she wasn't going to let bad refs or injuries stop her from putting on a show. While the refs were busy ruining games, Sophie Cunningham was busy building her own legend. She didn't just have a good night. She had the kind of performance that gets nicknames trending and jerseys flying off shelves. Against Seattle, Sophie went 5 of 6 from the floor and 4 of 5 from deep, dropping 17 points and single-handedly keeping the Fever's offense alive. Get this, she was the only Indiana Fever player to hit a three-pointer all night. Every single one of their 4 made threes came from Sophie. That's insane, and it's not a one-off. Sophie's been on fire for weeks now, so much so that fans gave her a new nickname, the Blonde Bomber. The moment she defended Caitlin Clark during that viral fight earlier this season, her follower count exploded by over 800,000 in just days, and her jersey sales skyrocketed. She's not just a role player anymore, she's a full-on fan favorite and quickly becoming a legit star. Honestly, as a fan, it's been awesome to see. Sophie's confidence is through the roof, and she's playing like someone who knows the spotlight is on her every night. She's hitting clutch shots, diving for loose balls, bringing the energy every team dreams about. And seeing that level of heart when Caitlin is out, it's the kind of stuff that makes you proud to root for this team.
It shows the growth that we've had as a team, because early in the season we were just so inconsistent, and if teams were to do that, we would normally lose those games. But it just shows that we're getting closer, we're trusting each other, and I think that's the biggest part, is trusting and knowing that we can win those games even if they go on runs.
But here's the thing. Even with Sophie turning into a highlight machine, this game almost slipped away in classic Fever fashion. For 3 quarters, it looked like Indiana had this game locked up. They built a 13-point lead behind Sophie's hot shooting and some steady play from the supporting cast. But if you've watched this team for more than 5 minutes, you know that no lead is ever safe when Caitlin Clark isn't on the floor. By the 4th quarter, it turned into a full-on nightmare. The Fever went cold, turnovers piled up, and the Seattle Storm went on a 10-2 run to slice the lead down to 1. Every fan watching at home had that same sinking feeling. Here we go again. The main culprit? Kelsey Mitchell. She had one of the worst shooting nights of her entire career. 3 of 16 from the field and 0 of 8 from 3. It was brutal. She couldn't hit a shot to save her life, and every miss felt like a dagger to Indiana's momentum. And this isn't new. Mitchell's become the definition of a roller coaster player. One game she's dropping 23 points, the next she's shooting like she's blindfolded. Add in some questionable coaching decisions, like waiting way too long to make defensive subs when Seattle started heating up. And it felt like the Fever were about to give away another one. You could almost hear fans clutching their chests like, not again, please, not again. Honestly, as a fan, it's exhausting. Watching double-digit leads melt away has become part of the Fever experience this season, and it's the exact reason so many fans are counting the days until Caitlin is back.
The Fever did everything possible to blow a game, but still come out with the win. That was a near epic level collapse, folks. Wow, it should have never gotten that close. Lexi Hull, Stephanie White waited till the very, very last minute to put Hull in on defense. She should have been in there from 2 minutes in, 2.5 minutes in on defense. They could not seem to get a big rebound to save their life, and this almost turned into a disaster.
But just when it felt like another collapse was inevitable, 2 players stepped up and refused to let it happen. When everything was falling apart, Aaliyah Boston decided enough was enough. The all-star big finally looked like the dominant force we saw earlier this season, putting up 16 points and 12 rebounds on 7 of 11 shooting. Her 9 straight points in the fourth quarter weren't just buckets, they were life support. Each shot calmed the chaos and reminded Seattle that Indiana still had weapons left on the floor. And then there was Natasha Howard, the veteran glue every playoff team needs. She dropped 21 points for the second straight game, finishing tough layups, grabbing big rebounds, and showing the composure that only comes with experience. When the Fever's offense went off the rails and panic started creeping in, Howard became the steadying presence, keeping them focused.
The Indiana Fever just almost pushed me to a heart attack. The Indiana Fever nearly blow a 12-point fourth quarter lead. We allow the Seattle Storm to go on an 11-0 run in the fourth quarter. Stephanie White, I keep telling y'all, I don't trust her. I'm sorry. We give up a 11-0 run within the last 4 minutes to let this team cut the lead down to.
You could even see it in the huddles, younger players looking at Howard for guidance, feeding off her calm energy while Boston went to work in the paint. It was the perfect 1-2 punch, Boston's raw power and Howard's savvy leadership that kept this from becoming yet another painful meltdown. And as a fan, watching Boston look like her old self again gave me chills. She's had a rough stretch since Clark went down, but seeing her reassert herself like this is the kind of thing that gives you hope. Hope that this team can not only survive, but maybe even thrive until Caitlin is back. And speaking of Caitlin, that's the biggest question right now. When is she coming back? And with the Fever winning without her, how much risk are they willing to take? The Fever are on a 5-game winning streak without Caitlin Clark, and that's shocking considering how dependent they looked on her earlier in the year. They're now 17-12, tied with Seattle for 5th in the league, but holding the tiebreaker advantage for a team that was supposed to collapse without its superstar. They've actually been thriving, at least on paper. But here's where things get tricky. Clark showed up to the arena in shorts like she was ready to play but never suited up. That's got fans asking the big question. Is this groin injury worse than the team is letting on? Or are the Fever just being extra cautious, saving her for the playoffs?
I'm really proud of you guys. There were so many ways in a close game and in game situation where we grew today that were huge for us, y'all. That will pay dividends. So great job. I'm proud of you guys. Everybody contributed. Everybody came in and gave us a lift. Kels, I know it was a tough shooting day, but the way you facilitated and that one big jumper that you made. Right. We dug in and got stops when we needed to. I mean, big time win, y'all.
Every win they stack without her takes pressure off rushing her return, but it also raises eyebrows if they can survive without her now. Do you risk re-injury by forcing her back too soon? Or do you keep playing it safe, knowing that a fully healthy Caitlin Clark could be the difference between a playoff appearance and a deep championship run? As fans, we all want her back on the floor, but more than anything, we want her healthy, because this team, when you combine Clark's playmaking, Sophie's new scoring punch, Boston's resurgence, and Howard's veteran leadership, could actually be dangerous in the postseason. But it's not just about the Fever anymore. The WNBA playoff race is tight, And every game matters for seeding. With multiple teams separated by just a few wins, one injury or one bad officiating night could decide everything. And that's why Caitlin's return and how this team handles it might just define the entire season.
It's been a lot of ups and downs in WNBA this season. To take care of business in a winning streak like this, what does that sort of say about how this team's coming together?
Yeah, Seattle's a great team, great team, and it's hard to play here. And so we knew that. We knew that they just came off kind of a bad loss against LA. And so they were hungry for a win. But for us, it's not about other teams. It's about our standard. It's about stacking the days. And I think that where our mental's at as a team and as individuals, we're in a really good spot. And, it's not going to be easy moving forward. But I think today we stayed true to the scout. We trusted the offense. Kelsey has been having a hell of a season. She was a little bit off, but she facilitated for us offensively down the stretch. And it just shows that everyone has something to give, even if your scoring's not good.
So what did we just witness? A team without its superstar point guard pulling off a 5-game winning streak. A new star in Sophie Cunningham stepping up and earning the nickname the Blonde Bomber. And Caitlin Clark, even from the bench, showing the kind of fire and leadership that makes her special. This isn't just about one game or one outburst. This is about players risking their bodies while referees let dangerous plays slide, and a league that can't afford to ignore it any longer, because fans don't want to see games decided by bad officiating. We want to see these incredible athletes protected and allowed to shine. If you're tired of refs ruining games and want players like Sophie and Caitlin to get the respect they deserve, drop "Protect Sophie" in the comments and let's make it clear we stand with these players. And hey, if you want to see where this season goes, if you want to be there when Caitlin Clark comes back and this team pushes for a playoff run, hit that like button, subscribe, and join our community. Because this season, it's not just about wins and losses, it's about standing up for the players who make this game special.